everybody, and welcome to the PokePlush Podcast. It is a Pokemon Plush podcast for Pokemon Plush collectors by Pokemon Plush collectors. I'm doing this beginning part on my phone. Apologies if it sounds different or weird from my usual recording. I'll be honest though, most of my recordings already do kind of sound a little weird. However, we do have some interesting stuff happening today where we're actually going to be going and interviewing a Pokemon plush saleswoman, and I'm super excited. She has her own store. She's super friendly, and I cannot wait for you guys to meet her. I'm super excited with y'all meeting her and kind of learning some stuff about her. All of her stuff in the description will be linked, so make sure to go check her out anywhere you want. I usually talk to her on Instagram, and usually on Instagram is the best place you're able to see her stock she has. There's going to be a funny part that later comes up about Clodsires. So today we're actually going to be skipping the PokePlush news. However, next week I'm going to be talking about everything that we had with the PokePlush news. It's going to be actually part of the big portion of it. And that's kind of with Sitting Cuties restocking and such like that. And we'll actually go cover that again, like I said, in a few weeks' time. Maybe next week. Who knows? I'm still kind of enjoying this 2 weeks upload schedule because I feel like that's a little bit smarter on my end. However, before we do that, I do want to talk about the new plushies that I've gotten. I don't think I said it yet because I think I got this only a little bit after I did the last episode. But I ended up getting a custom-made Poochyena plushie. I think I've spoken about it a little bit, and he is the best plushie I think I have in so much. Actually, I might be wrong. I think I have talked about it, so I'm going to skip that. But still, one of the best plushies out. I have a review of it. If you ever want to go check it out, feel free to. It's on the channel. But I actually got a new little stock of some other Pokemon plushies as well. I have a few coming in, which is the original Oshawott Pokemon Center plush from 2011. It is so freaking cute, and I'm super happy I'm finally able to get it. Complete my Pokemon Center collection when it comes to Oshawotts. However, I still have a whole bunch of Oshawotts I need to get, but it's still going to be a nice little thing to say that I currently have every single Oshawott that's currently available in the American Pokemon Center. I know it's not the biggest flex, but still, it's a flex for me, so I'm going to take it where I can. I'm super happy with that. And then I also got a few Sitting Cuties for Corsola, which is actually the first shiny Pokemon I ever got back in X and Y, so a pretty good meaning to me. I got a Carnivine. I've always really liked Carnivine. I don't know why. It had to maybe be from the anime or something, but I've just been a Carnivine fan for so long. I used it in Diamond and Pearl. I want to use it again in a future playthrough that I do, but yeah, I'm just going to say Carnivine is probably my favorite out of the bunch we got in here. Chinchou, another Pokemon that another YouTuber that I really like named Leroy actually has, so I'm excited about that. And then Dusclops, which is also one of those like random Pokemon that I kind of really like from just different things. The main reason being that I like him is from Pokemon Ranger, the one with the ukulele Pittoo. I don't know the exact name. I think it's the last one they ever did with like Generation 4 Pokemon. But that one is definitely my favorite from Pokemon Rangers, I believe. I just love going to that spooky area, and I think the haunted house and getting a lot of Dusclops, they were so freaking cool. I just love the hands, and I just love the aesthetic of Dusclops for the most part. The whole line is really, really cool from Duskull all the way up. I'm probably going to get a Duskull patch for my Ghostface jacket that I have. It's a jean jacket, and I'm doing half pins, half patches. And Duskull kind of screams Ghostface to me, so I might end up doing that. Who knows, though? Who knows? I'm sure I will, for sure. I kind of plan on it for the most part. But yeah, 4 new plushies that I have right now. Another one I got. Van Gogh Pikachu came in, and I was able to get my hands on that. We'll talk about that again next time we have a talk. And then we're going to talk about some other stuff, I think. Yeah, like Sitting Cuties restock. All the restocks that we've been seeing recently, which is super freaking cool. However, I do want to talk about how fast they sell out and all that. And I also got Palafin's Hero Form for the Pokédoll. Super excited for that to come in. But that is kind of the majority of the stuff that I just wanted to talk about. So I'm going to quit wasting time, and I'm going to go in and we're going to talk to Karen. So give me a second while we get situated, and we'll have that talk with her. All right, we are back, guys. Today I am joined by Karen. Hey, how are you today, Karen?
I'm good. Thank you for having me, Pittoo.
Of
How are you
course.
today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So I think I talked about it a little bit. I'm doing this part before I actually do the PokePlush news and all the intro stuff that I do for my main stuff in the beginning. However, this is gonna be NYC Plushie Queen, and she has her own store. I want to make sure pronouns she, her, or is there any other pronouns you would like to be known as?
Nope.
Nope.
She, her works.
Awesome. I just want to make sure. But she does have her own little Pokemon store shop, and I would love to kind of hear your story about that. For the most part, she is really, really interesting. Like all of the stuff that you see at her shop are very cool. I saw that you have Dwebble in stock, which I'm like, oh man, I need that. um,
It's a big need for a lot of people.
yeah, for sure. So first question of the day: what got you into selling?
So it started like around, I would say maybe around middle school. When I was in school, I don't know if your school did the same, where they give you candy to fundraise for the school for whatever events that they may have. Um, so it started with that. I was given a case of candy, and they said, "Here, just sell us for $1 and give us back the money." And I think around that time, my parents discovered Costco, or Costco had just come to New York, to Brooklyn. So we went there, and my mom was looking at the candy section, and she was like, "Oh, if this candy costs this much money and I sell for $1, I'll make this much money." So of course she bought candy. She just gave it to me. She was like, "Here, just sell it to your classmates." Um, and whatever she put up, she took back, and whatever was profit was mine to keep. Um, so throughout middle school and high school, I was selling candy to my classmates and sometimes my teachers. Um, I wasn't a troublemaker, so my teachers kind of let it slide. Um, but yeah, that kind of started, and then throughout the years, I just sold stuff here and there. By around middle school, I had already gotten kind of out of the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh scene. The thing that really triggered it was my cards had gotten stolen, so I was like, "That's it, I'm done."
Oh, that's
Um,
brutal. Oh, I feel
yeah,
so sad about that. Oh,
I know. I remember I had a lot of hits too. I had the master set, all the hollows from base set. I had the master set of base set. Um, I had the Shining Charizard. I had all these really big hits, and one day I opened my binder and they were all gone. So that really
oh,
broke my heart, and after that I just gave away whatever I had left to my coworker's son. So yeah, so by that time I was already out of the community and just kind of focusing on school and stuff like that. Um, Here and there I sold concert tickets. I resold concert tickets. I was selling amiibos at one point. Um, like little things here and there. And then around COVID, I was talking to a friend, and he had asked me about if I had heard about this new app called Whatnot. And I was like, no, what is it all about? And he told me that it's a platform where a lot of people have been doing pack rips. And I thought to myself, well, I always loved ripping packs, but when you don't hit anything, it really you feel the burn. And I thought, well, if I can rip packs for people, I can still get my little fix. And if I don't hit, it's okay. I don't feel as bad. So I got on Whatnot, um, and that kind of evolved into plushies. With how that got started was around the time I started Whatnot, the special delivery Charizard had come out, and people were saying, "Oh, if you don't want the card to get damaged, order a plushie." Because chances are the plushie's not going to do much damage to the card. So I thought to myself, well, if I'm able to sell the plushie, then my card is essentially free. And I had remembered from a card show that one of the vendors had told me that people love plushies, and I noticed that there wasn't a lot of plushie vendors. Um, and I've always loved plushies. I've always had them here and there, but never really kept them because I'm very sensitive to dust. So I didn't want to keep too much at home. So I, started with one or two, and it kind of just snowballed from there.
okay, cool, cool, cool. So you started from the Charizard. So first, one random question. So are you? You said you were from Brooklyn. Are you Brooklyn born and raised?
I would say pretty much born and raised. I came to the country when I was 8 months old,
Okay,
but
gotcha.
I grew up in Brooklyn. I went to school in Brooklyn. pretty much been in Brooklyn my whole life up until a year ago when I moved to Staten Island.
Gotcha, I gotcha. I'm from Texas, and so every time I hear somebody say they're from like somewhere from like New York City or some like places that you hear about those places like in movies and everywhere, I'm like, whoa, that's really cool. It's like we're in a
Most
whole
people
different
think of
country.
most people think of New York City, Manhattan, like the big build, the skyscrapers, and all the hustle and bustle. But
In Spider-Man.
yeah, in Spider Man. But yeah, I'm actually pretty not that far from the city, but um in the more quieter areas.
Okay, I gotcha. And then I guess we could kind of say your mom being a hustler is what got you into the selling scene, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. My parents have said that I've always had like a knack for business. Ever since I was little. And my mom, she runs a nail salon, so I kind of get that from her. We both like to hustle.
That's awesome. Gosh, that's really cool. Next
Same.
question. Yeah, of course. I love hearing like the stories about what got you into selling and all that kind of stuff. It's so cool, and hearing that's from like protecting the cards. So do you still sell on Whatnot, or is it just kind of for the most part just your own website now?
It's primarily my own website. Okay, now I tend to get the newer releases early. So when I do get it really early, I will run it on Whatnot. But nowadays, I mean, I still work full time. This is another full time job. It's just I don't have the time.
Yeah, I get
So
that.
I'm like very rarely on Whatnot anymore.
Yeah, I get that. That's valid. But also, it seems like from what I've seen, you have a very like good group of people that just kind of buy all your stock for the most part. So you seem to be having, even without like the help from say Whatnot, you seem to be having a pretty good selling business going around still.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have a great group of supportive people. I find that the plushie community is way more supportive, way more what's another word? Way more supportive and positive compared to another community within Pokemon. I don't want to name any communities,
Yeah, no,
but
you're good. You're good. I was
you know,
going to too, and then I was like, I think I know which one she's talking about, but I'm gonna keep it hush hush too. I'm sure everybody watching this also probably knows.
yeah. I mean, I love the plushie community. Everyone's so welcoming. I talked to a couple of the influencers, and they're also supportive. I really appreciate how they've embraced me into their community. Because they've been in this for a much longer time than I have. They have a wider reach. You can tell that they really love what they love.
Yeah, I that's the one cool part. Like I loved interacting with like Reddit, people from Reddit on the PokePlush community cuz like it varies from like younger kids to like what people in their 40s, 50s that just love plushies. And I just love hearing like their stories about collecting and then hearing where they get things from. And then it also really helps the fact that I've noticed that on your like selling, you have really good prices for your stuff. That's kind of one of the things that they're about. They're like, oh yeah, we'll support a custom or a Pokemon store no matter what, just as long as they're not trying to like make a fool of us and like try to oversell everything. And the fact that you're not is like really heartwarming to me.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Um, you know, I I believe I believe in pricing things fairly. I mean, I understand that there's a market and there's a market price for everything, but at the same time, with the amount of inventory I get in, I'm not trying to sit on stuff. And the more people I can help complete their collections, the happier I am. If I can provide it to you at a more reasonable price, then you're happy. The fact that I get to move my product and bring new product in makes me happy as well. So in a way, I see it as a win-win.
Yeah, love to hear that. Next question I got is, if you have a personal collection, what did it look like? Favorite plush you have? Favorite Pokemon? It's kind of the thing where it's like, what's your favorite Pokemon plush you have, maybe, and then what kind of Pokemon is either your favorite just since you were a child or one that you've recently grown to love? I'd love to know about that.
So I've always collected the TCG. When I first got back into it, I found out about baby shinies, and I thought they were really cool, and I just loved the style of the cards. So I started collecting that for my personal collection. And then when I started vending, it became a little harder for me to keep stuff for myself. Because I want to help people complete their collections. So it just becomes hard to keep stuff for yourself as time goes on. As for my favorite plushie, I was actually planning to keep a Taikei Bansei. I don't know if I butchered it, but I was planning to keep a Taikei Bansei Dragonite for myself. And I had one set aside. And then I get a notification on my phone that I had sold it, and I was like, "Oh no, what did I do?" Because because at that moment I was like, "Okay, I'm sold out on the website. This is for me." And then I get a notification that it's sold, and I was like, "Oh man, like I can't get any more. Am I going to break this person's heart and tell them that I don't have any more, or should I just send them what I have?" I ended up sending them my last one. Because I just feel bad that people look for this for years and years and years, and then they finally find one at a decent price, and they're like, for them, it's such a win, and I just feel terrible taking that away from them. So I ended up sending that to them. I'm still on the hunt for one. It's just ever since Appleton post blew up, people have been requesting like crazy. So it's been harder and harder for me to find more and to have one for myself to keep. I recently got some Ditto Magikarps in, and I'm really tempted to keep one. So that might be on my next plushie to keep. The one I do have in my collection right now is the Red Apron Pikachu from the Pokemon Cafe.
Oh, that's a really cool one. I've like seen a little bit of it.
Yeah, my brother went to Japan in November. He went to the cafe, and I told him, just get me any plushie, doesn't matter, and that's the one he got. So, that was a gift, and he told me, don't sell it. And I said, I'm not gonna sell it. Are you crazy? That's a gift. So that one's with me forever. Never letting that one go.
I think your brother remembered your the business side of you and was like, "Oh, she's gonna make a quick buck, huh?"
Right. He knows I can. I'm like, I'm not selling. Are you crazy?
That's really cool. My girlfriend, like, we're talking to all my coworker, or not my coworkers. Oh my gosh, one of the people that have been on the podcast a few times. She's a little busy, so she hasn't been on it too much. I call her one of my co-hosts, but she isn't really on it all the time. She actually has an Appleton she's selling, and my girlfriend has like first dibs on it. She's just been really busy and like hasn't been able to get a good box for it recently. But dude, I love the Appleton. I recently saw that it might be coming back in for the US Pokemon Center, and I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation about that one.
Yeah, it was like, I think it went from like $80 to like 130 or something online, but it still remains sold out. So people are kind of assuming it's going to be a what is that, restock?
Yeah, like a surprise restock one day.
That would be awesome. But
yeah,
oh, keep on going. Sorry.
And I'm sure you heard like a few months ago. I think it was around Pokemon Day in February. Did you hear that the New York City store had it in stock?
Did they? Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, so they had it. So I had saw some stories from Alchemy Sunday, K-Berry, and Princess Eevee. They were all in New York City at the Nintendo store, and they had the Appleton in their hands. So the next morning, I had some people hit me up and ask me if I can get it. So the next morning, around 10 a.m., I was calling the Pokemon Center asking if they still had any left in stock, and they said they sold out the night before. So yeah, so that was in stock. That was a surprise. I don't think anybody knew about that.
I want to see what the differences are, because I don't know if you've ever like noticed how they'll restock something and it'll be kind of completely different. Like I think recently with the Gengar Sitting Cuties restock, it was like a whole different color or something.
I've seen that before, yeah.
So
same with the Ditto too.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see
how it turns out.
It used to be pink?
I think the Ditto used to be, the Sitting Cutie used to be pink, and now it's purple.
Oh, okay. I do like the fact that they kind of do that, though, because I do like the fact that, like, different versions of it will be shown. I play, like, video games just in general, and, like, I like it whenever they have a certain skin one year, and then they don't really sell it anymore, but they'll sell, like, a recolor of it.
I think that also makes it a little more attractive for collectors because one
Yeah.
can say, "Oh, I got the pink Ditto," but you can't get that anymore.
Yes, the elusive pink Ditto.
Right, or the yellow egg Chansey.
Oh yeah, for sure. The little rotten egg. Okay, what do we got next? Um, what's the easiest way to sell in your opinion? And if you have any new sellers, where do you suggest they get stock from?
So I found that the local card shows have been really, really successful for me. People like to see put a face to a name, to a handle, and when they're at a show, they can see the stuff, they can touch the stuff, they can see the stuff up close. It's so easy to sell stuff online and do a simple bait and switch. Like I can have, like somebody can just put up a picture of a legitimate item, but then ship a bootleg. So I find that being in person, like it helped me build trust within the community, and being able to just share pictures of myself at the shows. People see like, oh, she's got actual stock, and word of mouth is very powerful. So I think that that's what helped push my online shop, to be more successful. Um, And then as far as getting stock, I mean, it depends on what your limitations are financially, and I think I would say your financial limitations are the biggest thing. I would always recommend start small. Don't be like me and order. I don't know if you saw my stories from earlier. Don't be
Oh
like me
yeah,
and
I did.
order over 30 cloth tires.
Hey, I will say I am in needing of an actual non bootleg Clodsire, so I might have to maybe I have to grab one.
It was such an impulse buy because I had ordered these right after the Sine Clodsire cushion drop, and it was so successful. I was like, okay, I gotta get more. And foolish me was thinking, okay, my supplier did tell me that it would be months before I get it, and I was like, it's fine. It's Clodsire. People still want it. But now I'm looking at this box right now, and I'm just like, I have 50 pounds of Clodsire in my living room.
Oh, that just sounds like the dream.
That's what Curly Swirly Maria said. She was like, "This is a dream."
I, I do think that
But
you
yeah,
are living like the dream of a whole bunch of collectors though, just having all these like cool plushies just in your like house.
oh, no doubt, no doubt. I have like my AirPod just fell. 1 second.
No, you're all good.
I have small ears, so after a while they start to fall out. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think. Can you
Okay.
say one more thing?
Yeah, I think I can hear you.
Yep, yep. It's clear.
Okay. Because sometimes I might accidentally hang up by pressing some weird spot on the AirPod.
Oh,
I still don't
trust
know
me.
what that spot is.
I've had my girlfriend like get angry, like joke angrily at
Oh
me
no.
from like taking out my headset for 1 second to like maybe scratch my ear or something, and I just hear that. Pittoo.
Oh. Yeah, it's so easy. They should make like a notch or something so I know where not to press.
Yeah, I don't know I still don't know which one not to press. Like even
Mm,
after all these years of having them.
right. But getting back to what I was saying, so yeah, I would say I would highly recommend people to watch their wallet and make sure you're not spending what you're able to make back before the month is over. I put a lot of spending on my credit card, but also I'm doing shows. I'm moving product on my website, so I make sure that my bills are paid every month. So for someone starting out, you can start by looking locally. I've heard a lot of people hitting up yard sales, um, consignment shops like Salvation Army, um, even Macari and Facebook Marketplace, just finding plushies for the low and selling them for just a few dollars more, just to make a little profit, just to get your feet wet and build up some capital. Um, for me, the appeal was buying stuff from overseas because I noticed that it's not very easy to get that stuff here. And while anyone can go on sign up for a proxy and order stuff on their own, the shipping cost is a lot. If you're just buying two plushies for yourself, that's at least $40 shipping, at least $20 to $40 shipping, depending on what you're getting. Whereas I can order a big box and offer it for a more reasonable amount, like a cheaper amount. So I would recommend, look at your wallet, find your niche, see what the needs are in the community.
I will also add on to that about the Macari thing. I'm definitely not as like, I'm not gonna say good, more professional. I'm not as professional as I think you are with like selling. I have like a whole set. I spent like $800 on a big old bundle of Macari plushies, and
Oh wow.
yeah, I'm now like recently I think I'm like 750 or something, and I still have like a good amount of stock left. So at least I'm making that money. I'm gonna be going over it for sure, but yeah, Macari I've kind of learned is a really good place to get a decent amount of stock.
It is, and that when I used to go on Macari for singles as well, but I mean the tax and the shipping kind of kills it a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, but I've heard a lot of people going on Macari to look for plushies. Although I've heard things lately that it's gotten a little crazy with the fees for buyers and sellers.
So it's not too bad anymore. Recently had an update where before, say you would sell something for like $15, you'd only maybe get like 11 or $12 from that. Now they have
Mhm.
it to where you don't get, like, say you like sell something for $15, you get to keep that $15 now. And
Okay.
I think the only thing is now they have like a set price thing for if you want to actually send it, even if you only like do like the 3 to 4 days and it'll come into your account. You still gotta pay like I think $2 or $3, which it's not too bad. I haven't really noticed too
Hmm.
crazy of it. I usually buy stuff on Macari. Like recently, it's still kind of coming in right now. But I got the Pokemon Center, the original like 2011 Oshawott, because that was like the last
Oh.
Oshawott I needed from the Pokemon Center. Because I'm a huge Oshawott fan myself. If you couldn't tell by
Hmm.
my Discord picture,
He
but
is very cute.
I think it's from the Poke Dance thing. It's so adorable. But
Aw.
I usually use my funds that I get from the plushies that I sell to add to my collection. I've kind of tried to like move away from just buying whatever, unless it's Pokemon Center for the most part. I'll like try
Hmm.
to just kind of use my funds from what I've sold, which I think works out in the deep end for the most
Yeah,
part,
and that makes sense because it's so easy to go overboard if you're just spending willy nilly. Um,
which I've done.
yeah, I mean, I am a clear example of that with my with the
With
5 boxes
yeah, I was
I got
gonna
in
say
today.
Miss 50-pound Clodsires.
Um, I can't believe that's so many Clodsires.
It's gonna be a funny story though once you actually sell them all though. That's the good part.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not the first time I had 30 plus Clodsires, but it wasn't. I don't think it was 50 pounds. This is a lot. I don't I don't know.
Which ones are they again? Are they just like the normal ones? Are they comfy friends?
These are the Sene cushion, the Porehagu cushions.
Oh, okay, okay. Yes, then I might
Hmm.
definitely need to grab one from you.
Yeah, I got a bunch of the Porehagu. I don't know if I'm butchering that as either, but
I don't
I
know
got a
either.
bunch of but I got a bunch of those. I got the Cleffa, the Natu, the Psyduck, and the Munchlax.
Ooh.
So I got those in, and I got a bunch of Comfy Friends Swablues and the Denny's today, and
Oh, okay.
Jolteon.
I have to show my girlfriend your collection too. She loves the Dene.
He's really cute. He was a lot more popular than I thought.
Oh yeah, I think he might be the most popular Pikachu clone. Which
Mm.
you know what? They can have that. I'll take my Togedemaru any day.
Oh yeah, he's such a cutie.
So, besides plushies, which is I feel like is definitely your most popular thing that you sell, I've noticed you have a few other things that aren't exactly Pokemon plushies. What's your favorite thing to sell besides plushies?
Um, so going back to my first love, TCG, I love selling singles. Um, I also I love sourcing stuff in general. I like the challenge. When someone tells me that they can't find it, I'm like, okay, hold my beer. Let me give it a crack at it.
I can just imagine hold my beer. You like hit the and then you like tear a pack and you just same like movement.
Yeah, yep. Um, but yeah, I like to sell singles. I like sourcing them. I don't know. It's just something about the cards that I just like. So I that would probably be my second favorite thing to sell. Lately I've been really getting into selling just like Pokemon toys in Japan. Um, like anywhere if it's from the Bandai model kits. I last night I had put up these vinyl figures of the derpy Pokemon. So like they're kind of like rubber ducky material.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
the 1-2 Pokken collection. So it's got Quagsire, Slowpoke, Psyduck, um, and a couple of other derpy ones. So I was like, yeah, why not? You don't see that in America. You don't really see that in online shops either. So I just like to bring stuff over that's not really seen here. So like so random Pokemon toys. They're a lot of fun to source and to sell.
Yeah, that's one of the also really unique things that I've noticed about your store is you don't really have anything that even just like say New York City, which seems to be one of the more popular places besides the obvious Japan to get like plushies and toys and stuff. You seem to have like things that wouldn't even be in New York for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's one of the things I like about running my shop is being able to get stuff that people can't really find anywhere else. Like you said, New York City, you would think you can find anything. Even California, I would say surprisingly, a lot of my customers are from California, and you would think that out there it's like probably the mecca of everything kawaii and everything
Oh yeah,
anime.
for sure.
But I'm guessing. I mean, I never really looked at people's addresses, but I'm guessing it's probably outside of the big cities. Um, but yeah, a lot of my customers are from Texas, from California, from Jersey, and I once in a while I do get customers from New York, but I think most of the times people would rather wait for me to vend at a show, or maybe they have different ways of getting their stuff. But yeah, I mean, I like finding anything that's different.
Okay, I got you. That's really cool. I got. It's gonna be. I will kind of want to just know your opinion on bootleg plushies. What's your opinion on those kind? Because I think you post them every so often in your store, right? But you like explicitly like put bootleg, which I really
Yeah,
appreciate. There's like a bunch of like
yeah.
sellers that I've even like tested them. I was like, let's see, am I actually gonna buy from these people? And so if I know they have like bootlegs, I'm like, hey, is this official? And like 99% of the time, I go, oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
and then they
I'm
will
not
have
buying from
nothing to type.
them. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
$35 bootlegs.
I mean, I'm the type of person that said that I live by the mantra, do what you want, but at the same time, don't be dishonest with people. If it's a bootleg, let people know it's a bootleg and price it accordingly. Don't charge people um the same price that you would charge for an official plush. Um, I know for a while I had the bootleg Sleeping Cubone on my website, and I only posted that because at the time when it first released, it was like really hard to get it, and people were hitting me up here left and right, asking if I can get it, and I told people, I can't get it, but there's a bootleg if you want it. If you really want it, I'll put it up, but it's bootleg, and I was only charging people like $20 for it. Um, so I only sold like maybe one or two, and then that was it. Like I don't usually like to source. I mean, when I first started, I wasn't sure about how to tell from an official and unofficial plushie. I was selling them here and there, but I wasn't charging like $50 for them. But nowadays, 100%, I would rather sell official licensed merchandise because that's what my store is known for. I don't want people to doubt the integrity of my products. And also, like I always get comments from people when they touch the plush, they're like, "Oh my god, it's so soft! You really feel the difference." And people really appreciate the quality of that. That just makes their experience with my shop so much better because they know that they can get quality product, licensed product for a decent price.
Yeah, I think the Cubone's the one that I was thinking about when I saw that on your product. I was like, that actually is a pretty decent like Cubone bootleg for the most part, I think. And like I said, I did really appreciate the fact that you actually made sure that people knew that it was a bootleg. That's like really awesome. Um,
Hmm.
Gosh, what was that? What else was I gonna say? I completely lost track of what I was gonna say, so I'm just gonna kind of move on.
All right.
I'll remember
It
it. I'll
happens.
remember it soon, probably, maybe. I'm gonna go through into the next question. Do you have any advice for those who may want to start selling?
I would say definitely have a budget. Um, have a budget for what you're willing to spend, and really do your research on how much you can charge for a plushie. Um, that would be the number one, because a lot of people will tend to just buy, and then afterwards they realize, oh my goodness, this cost me a lot more than I thought it would, and now I have to charge a lot more or sell at a loss. Um, Another piece of advice I would have is try to find your niche. Try to be different from what everyone else is doing. Another, one other thing that motivated me towards plushie was that there just wasn't a lot of people selling like big volumes of plushies. There'll be a vendor here and there selling five five different types of plushies, but some of them will be ridiculously overpriced. Um, or they just didn't have a lot of variety. So I that was how I was able to stand out from the rest of the crowd, was to sell a huge amount of plushies and really stock up on people's favorites and give them like a wide variety.
I gotcha. Yeah, I really appreciate that advice. It's, like I said, I do also sell, so like I kind of need some better pointer. And I totally just I don't know why hearing you say that totally reminded me of what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like the first conversation that we had, I think, was us like talking about Pokemon tags and how to distinguish them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Did I even give you like a full answer to it, or did I'm trying to remember.
you did. You gave me some pointers to look out for.
I think I needed to send you pictures. I think that's what I forgot to do, which I can definitely do after this probably.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the PokePlush subreddit as well, and I've seen some people post like pictures of bootleg tags, pictures of real tags. Like that subreddit, it's really helpful.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's like a set of group of people that are like, should I? We should kind of
Yeah.
like ban that from that. But also, I kind of like seeing what people think about whenever they see the plushies. But then there'll be like some obvious ones where they'll have like a Tomy one
Oh
and
my
be
god.
and be like, is this a bootleg?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Some
Yeah.
of them are pretty good bootlegs, and some of them you're just like, this is obviously fake.
I think the best bootlegs I might have seen so far is that Sleeping Cubo one, like you showed. At least from like the picture, it seemed really accurate to the actual one. And then the Sleeping Evolutions seem really
Oh my
well
goodness,
made.
those are really, you would have to know it really well to
Oh
be able
yeah,
to tell.
I
Because
think
even
it's
even
yeah,
the
even the
tags are really well
tags.
made.
I think the only like way to really tell for the most part is like I think the chin or something, and then like the
The
toes.
toe beans, yeah, the toes is a big
Yeah,
one, and the field too.
I need to put that on the iceberg sometime soon because I'm making a PokePlush iceberg. So I'm gonna have to put toe beans on there and just be so confused as to why.
I think the worst bootlegs I saw on that subreddit was, I think it was like a Leafeon and another evolution, where like the mouth was on top. It was like above the eyes.
Oh my
The
god,
face was all
the
messed up.
Pokédoll one? Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
The person was like, I think the person was trolling. I mean, there's no way that was even a question.
No, no,
It
no. It's
was
just a very rare evolution. Oh my gosh. Well, this is not really PokePlush related. However, I think last question of the day would be pretty cool to ask. What do you think your Pokemon team would be if you had one?
Oh, I've always been a fire type and an offensive kind of attacker. Um, I mean, I love my fire types. I love Typhlosion, Entei, Charizard. Um, if I was to play the game, you definitely need somebody who can surf. Um, so maybe like a Blastoise or a Lapras.
Or
I don't really go
Starlax? Starlax
or
is
Snorlax
flamethrower.
or
He can learn
or
surf.
Bidoof. Bidoof
Oh
can
yeah,
surf,
Bidoof,
right?
of course, the
He's
mascot.
he can cut. He can probably cut, right? He can do flash.
You know what? Scratch the fire
He
type.
does it
All you
all.
need is bid.
Pretty much. He can use water gun. He could probably use any attack.
For sure.
So, so I guess I have to include Bidoof because I need cut. I need he can't fly, so I would need like a Pidgeot or something.
Okay, okay.
I like my Cantum. I like my Johto starter. So probably Pidgeot would definitely be on my team. Um, let's see. I guess Bidoof will be my Surfer. Typhlosion. I guess for water type, I would probably want a Blastoise. I'm very much a Gen 1 and Gen 2 type of girl.
Oh, I get that. Was that your first few games that you played?
Yeah, I started with Pokemon Red back
Oh,
in
awesome.
1999.
Oh, cool. I am a little bit younger than you. I say a little bit younger. I started with black and white.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I'm only 22, so I'm a little bit younger.
No, I look a lot. Oh, I look a lot younger than I am, actually.
Yeah, yeah, from the picture that I saw, I would have assumed like maybe like 25 at most.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
But
But
hey,
yeah, I
maybe
mean, if I,
PokePlush selling's keeping you young. We'll just say that.
oh yeah, definitely. I would say, I guess, if I was around for Pokemon Red, right, I was there right at the beginning. So I guess we'll leave that for people to assume to assume my age.
A little guessing. Question of the day.
I was actually so I work in a school, and a couple of weeks ago, so I'm at a school, so we have this security guard, and one day the regular security guard wasn't there. So, looking how I look, I go to work wearing jeans, my North Face, my backpack. I can pass for a high school student. So when I saw that the security guard was absent, I was like, "Oh man, this lady's gonna think I'm a student. She's gonna stop me." She didn't ask me any questions coming in, but leaving because I left early that day. I'm walking out the door, and she's like, "Excuse me, ma'am." She's like, "Hello." And I turned around, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I said, "I work here." And over the summer, I was working at a high school, and for the first week there, the security guard was asking me where I was going. Until one day, I was like, "I work here," and I think that was the day that he was like, "Okay, I got it now. She works here."
Oh my god. Yeah, I had the same thing happen to like I think either my junior year or senior year. We got a new teacher and she was like maybe 20 something, maybe 23 at most. She kept on getting stopped by like every
Oh
single
my god.
teacher. It was like her first day too. I felt so bad for her.
Oh,
But I think that's going to be it for the questions that I have. If you'd like to, feel free to promote anything you have. I'll also ask you later, probably in the DMs, if you want to put any of your like links that I could put on the description. But right now, if you want to do anything else to promote, either where you're selling, what you sell on, anything like that, your Instagram, whatever you feel like, floor is yours.
all right. Awesome. So my name is nycplushiequeen, aka Karen, not the mean one, not the mean type. I have an online shop. I sell primarily Pokemon plushies, Pokemon toys from Japan. I have started importing Pokemon products from Korea, from China, um, and Taiwan. All official licensed products. I don't carry any bootlegs on my site, and if I do, it's usually because somebody asked for it. And if I do, I make sure to mention that they are bootleg. But everything's official, licensed products. Um, I have a lot of plushies, toys. I'm starting to branch out into Disney products. I'm looking for One Piece products and Digimon products. So it's not just Pokemon. I'm branching out into other anime, other franchises. I'm always open to suggestions as to what I can provide. I love searching for new things for people, especially if it's something that you really want or something you've been looking for a while. But yeah, my DMs are open. You can hit me up at any time. I'm usually up late at night. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you again for stopping by. I'll make sure to send you a little thing of the video if you want to review it, either or. But yeah, I once again appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your night.
Of course. Thank you so much, Pittoo. I appreciate you giving me the time.
Of course, anytime. And if you want to come back on here for any other reason, feel free to. We'd always welcome to have you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Of course, you have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. You too.
Of course.